People aren't ghosting from your website because they're not interested or because your offer sucks. They're ghosting because they don't trust you, and you have a quick split second to make that impression. The truth is that trust is one of those really subtle things that can make or break the sale. Just think about it. Would you buy from somebody that you didn't trust? Probably not. It's no different on your website either. Think about it like walking into a restaurant. If it looks nice and clean and spacious, you're going to assume that the kitchen is probably the same way. But if you walk into a restaurant where it's dirty, it's unorganized, and maybe there's even bugs, I guarantee that you're probably going to be running out the door and not eating there. Your website is no different. Even if it's beautiful, even if your offer is like the best offer in the world, people are not going to stick around if they are not feeling those subtle trust cues from you. So in today's video, I'm sharing 5 simple but strategic ways to make sure that your website builds trust fast so that your audience feels confident buying from you. One of the easiest ways that you'll lose trust fast is by not being detailed enough. And I know I've talked before here on the channel about being concise, but you have to be concise yet clear. You don't want to say vague statements because at the end of the day, they don't really mean anything. So if your website is using terms like get results fast or transform your business or achieve your goals with ease, like this all sounds nice, but what does it mean? Honestly, it's generic, and basically any business could be saying these things. At the end of the day, if you're using phrases that could apply to literally any business, it's not niche enough, it's not specific enough, so people aren't going to trust that you're the one to help them. Instead, we can build trust by using more details. So maybe you can drop numbers, maybe you drop specific timelines, maybe you highlight frameworks or methods or whatever specific thing it is that you do. And whenever you can, call out niche specific knowledge. So instead of something like I help you attract more clients, which again is very generic, super vague, we're not really sure who you're helping, what kind of clients, or anything like that, you might say something like, I'll rewrite your homepage headline so your dream clients instantly know they're in the right place and want to stick around. This literally tells everything, right? In one succinct sentence, how you're going to attract more clients while rewriting your homepage headline and the specific result that they're going to get from that. Another really common phrase that I see is get results fast with my proven method. Well, okay, what does that even mean? Results for what? You want people to have an instant understanding and an instant impression of what it is that you have to offer. Is it get results fast by losing weight? Is it get results fast by learning how to organize better? This could apply to anything. I have to include one more because this one I've seen a lot and it is incredibly generic, and it is take your brand to the next level. Like, what does that even mean? Are we playing a video game? What is the next level exactly, right? So just again, try and dig into the details a little more. Try and be more specific. Try and anchor your promises in something that's actually real. Maybe that's a timeline. Maybe that's your method. Maybe that's actually clearly stating what it is that's going to happen. The more knowledge that you're giving people, the more that they're actually going to trust that you know what you're doing. And they'll have a clearer understanding if you're a good match for working together. This next one is a biggie, and it's one that I talk about a lot here on my channel, and that is the importance of brand consistency, because brand consistency with your voice and with your visuals really does create trust. And I'm sure you've experienced this in the past. If you've ever hopped onto a website and it's all disjointed with like 10 different fonts and colors all over the place, it doesn't feel like a legit brand, right? Consistency helps create trust because it feels like this is an organized actual business compared to just chaos that you might be seeing elsewhere. Beyond that, your voice and your visuals should actually complement each other. We're not just doing a branding guide where we only focus on the voice or we only focus on the visuals. Ideally, you're going to have a beautiful brand bible where they really work together. If your copy is really warm and really playful, but then your website is super sterile and corporate looking, that's a little bit of a mismatch, right? We're going to want to think about ways that we're going to have the voice of the brand really be mirrored in the visuals as well. I've been a magazine editor for nearly 2 decades, and if there's one thing that we really focus on, it's really honing in on not just the visuals, but on the voice as well, and making sure that it's really cohesive and just kind of tells the whole story. Now, if this is something that you're still struggling with, I do have a free guide that you can grab in the description box below, all about how to find your voice, and will help you dial in on your messaging to make sure it's clear and consistent across your channels. The next way that we can illustrate trust is to borrow trust, and this is one of my favorite ways to showcase it. This can be as simple as client logos or as seen on mentions. Maybe you were featured on a podcast, maybe you are a guest blogger somewhere. Any kind of clippings that you can share, any logos really adds a sense of legitimacy to your website. Any testimonials you have as well just really serve as social proof and help reinforce to your audience that you are a trustworthy person to work with. Now, this is something that you're going to want to weave in strategically throughout your website. You're not going to want one whole page of info dump testimonials because nobody is going to read that. Instead, you might have like logos strategically placed on your homepage right above the header or at the bottom. Maybe next to a call to action on your services page, you have a short testimonial from someone who you worked with in the past, right? There's different ways to strategically weave these in on your website without just bombarding people with everything everyone has ever said about you. Now, when it comes to your homepage specifically, I do want to see some social proof on there. If you are not sure what should be on your homepage or how to order it exactly, I do a video all about the homepage setup in this playlist and I will link that for you below. One pro tip when it comes to borrowed trust is you can use these strategically on your call to action. I did mention having a short testimonial next to your checkout page or next to your services or sales page, but also on your opt-ins as well. Like instead of just saying download now or opt-in, you can use language like used by over 300 business owners. I actually did this myself on one of my opt-ins. I say something along the lines of, downloaded by thousands of people just like you or something to that effect. And it's kind of a neat psychological trick on the brain because it's really, instead of just saying, okay, download now or opt in, you're thinking, well, thousands of people have liked this resource, then I probably will like it too. I should get it. Now, another major reason that people may not trust you is if you have sloppy editing. And this one is a big one because again, I've been an editor for literally my entire career and this one drives me crazy. And it's hard to catch sometimes because even if you read something hundreds and thousands of times and you print it out and you have somebody read it, it's really easy to have mistakes. But it's so important because people are not going to take you seriously and they're not going to think you're professional if you have a lot of grammatical errors on your site. Now, this can look like the obvious, which is weird punctuation or misspelling, but even things like weird line breaks, clunky formatting, or fonts mismatching, these are all going to make a certain impression and can really make or break the trust on your site. And I'm not saying that it's not okay to make mistakes. We all have mistakes here and there. That's normal. You're human. But it's about putting your best foot forward, right? Because people are going to think if she can't even throw her website together and it looks this unprofessional, then how can I possibly trust working with this person? So my top tips for this are: one, obviously have a great final read through before you hit publish. Two, enlist the help of a friend if you can and have them read through it and see if they can comb through any mistakes. Three, print it out. I always recommend printing it out because for whatever reason, your eyes will glaze over once you've read something on the computer 1,000 times, but when you see it on paper, you always find new mistakes. You can also use tools like Grammarly. Grammarly is free and will catch grammatical errors. And of course, you can use ChatGPT. The caveat here is that you're going to want to tell AI not to rephrase things for you, because if it does, you're going to be rewriting and rewriting and rewriting, and you're never going to hit publish. Enlist it to help you with the editing and just make it clear that you don't want any rewrites. You can use a prompt like this: can you check this for typos, grammar issues, and formatting inconsistencies? But don't rewrite or rephrase anything. Just point out what needs fixing and explain why if it's unclear. I want to keep my original tone and style intact. I've used this prompt before. This should help you. You can even ask it to bold changes for you so it's easier to get through. This next tip is a little bit more of an advanced one, but I have a feeling you'll like it, and that is to use strategic microcopy. Now, if you don't know what microcopy is, which I wouldn't expect that you do, it's something that's often overlooked, and it's just little things like paying attention to your button text and your form labels and your opt-in messages and your checkout. Like, all these little teeny tiny places are still an opportunity to be on brand and to help reinforce trust. So for this, you're going to want to think of how you can alleviate the friction. Like, someone wants to make a next step, but they're having a little bit of an internal argument with themselves and they're just not sure. The goal with this is to help alleviate the friction. So if someone wants to download something, but they're kind of like, I don't want to sign up for a whole email list or give them all my information, you might say something like instant download, no sign up required. You're removing the hesitation. Like, they weren't sure if they should do it, but now they're going to move forward with the next step because you reassured them, hey, it's okay. I'm not going to take your info. We use these phrases at checkout, right? Like secure checkout powered by Stripe or money back guarantee for 14 days. These are all small but important areas where we can really reassure them that they can move forward to the next step. Microcopy is just a good opportunity to help quell somebody's fears and concerns without them having to go out of the way to ask you questions or reach out to you, or even worse, bouncing off your website altogether. And yes, it's a small detail, but at the end of the day, small details are what builds credibility. Now, even with all these trust builders in place, it can be kind of hard to know if your website copy is actually working. So keep watching this next video that's playing on your screen right now. I'm going to walk you through a mini self-audit that will tell you exactly where your messaging might be breaking down so you can fix it fast.